Namaste. Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is the penultimate tarot card of the year reading, and this is for the number 8. And this year, I did choose to use number 11 as Libra and balance. And this year I am using 8 as strength. However, there are a lot of correspondences between the 8th and the 11th arcanum, ones that are worth taking time to study. And if your number is either 8 or 11, I think this is might be part of your 2026 reflections. And so I am going to, for its color, but also for some connections that I have with this deck, use Keeper of the Sacred Bee for these readings this morning. And I want to welcome you back. This has been quite a journey to do this for you. And I hope that you can take these readings and reflect on them in months to come and come back to them and just see how it sits a little differently 2 months from now, 3 months from now. And please come back and leave a message. It means a lot to me when you write a comment at any point in your journey. I think that fortitude can be hard to come by in a time of great change. It is, certainly easier to remain with the status quo than it is to embrace change. And in a year, whether you are embracing 10, the wheel, as the 2026 card of the year, or the magician as the number 1, this is an important combination of numbers to feel deeply in your bones. And I think that for anyone really who is journeying on a new adventure or facing the closing of another, fortitude is a wonderful quality to cultivate. This reading is being offered just before the new moon in Capricorn 2026, the first new moon of the year. And I feel that these final readings are going to really set quite an amazing tone for the year ahead. And as always, I ask this message be in the highest for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. And good morning, beautiful people. Hello, Clavis and Mary Beth. Okay. So we're looking at powerful planets here, Jupiter of the wheel, and Sun. So this is a dynamic duo, so to speak. Very dynamic duo. Okay, I don't know why my camera is so close. I haven't been on for a couple of days, so I didn't get a chance to adjust. Could also be new phone settings, so I apologize. I'm just going to do this and talk a little bit more while I see if I can adjust this. I may have to disconnect and reconnect for the next reading. My phone automatically updated, and I don't like it when that happens, but here we go. We'll make do, and I'll have to just hold up cards for you. I don't think that strength would appear. Well, actually, that's not true. It says a lot depending on where it does appear. And of course, in the pile of fire, strength is at home and speaks to very much where we're going, the direction that we're going, and what we're creating in this year ahead of change and new beginnings. But I don't know. I don't know. I have sometimes a tremendous confidence in where, good morning, Casey, in where I might find a card in which pile. And other times there's an uncertainty. And it's funny because this card is my sun sign is Leo. And I do have a lot of fire in my chart. And it's an odd feeling that I have right now about where it might be. Where is this card of strength and fortitude and life purpose, passion? Where is it? Where is it hiding? And what does it want to amplify? What does it want to amplify? And honestly, I I would be disappointed if it were in this particular pile. I feel like strength has other work to do. So I'm just going to kind of work backwards today. Okay, so it is not here. Is that a weird thing to say, that I would be disappointed if it were in that pile? I feel, yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a funny thing to say. So let's go to its home base. It's a very large group of cards here, by almost double the largest pile. So just by odds, it's going to be here. It is here. Kind of a beautiful card at the bottom of this pile. This is Nine of Cups. And it's almost like the beekeeper has wound up their work for the season. And, it must be a beautiful thing to be working with the bees all season and then come to the end of the season and just kind of wish your friends well and wander off. And so having this card at the bottom of the pile, it's really beautiful, right? It's a card of fulfillment, and I feel like a great contentment with your emotional experience. It also has a direct connection to Jupiter, being the classical ruler of Pisces. And also this is a Jupiter decan. So it's in every way, this feels like a really, not only is it, traditionally it's called the wish card, but it feels really lucky that this energy is here, right? Supporting all of these cards. It's holding up all of these cards. $26 cards, so that's an 8. Isn't that beautiful? I want to respond to what Mary Beth has commented here about her ex-husband working with the bees. I feel that there's so much peace and energy in that kind of work. And of course, for some people, it might bring up a fear, a level of fear. But the beauty in the work and the calm that the hum of the bees creates, I can only imagine how transformed one would be in working with the bees daily. I find it so inspiring. So the King of Wands, which won't come up in this reading because it's on the other side, right? It's above it. But what a lovely card here to be supporting strength, because that is the court card for Leo, and really kind of shining a light and shining a purpose upon all of this, with the strength card being in the fire pile. Ooh, I love that, Ray Beth. With the strength card being in the fire pile, I just feel that there's an aspect of destiny, like a real connection with where I'm going and what I'm doing. And this is really cultivating those qualities of fire that you need at this time. If it is that connection with creativity, if it is simply life, not simply, if it is a greater trust that the life force energy within you will not fail you, I just feel something really kind of peaceful, and like you can trust, like there's a real sense of trust here. And the card on the other side is Five of Swords. So this will be the first card in the reading. So let's just think about this for a moment. Okay, so Five of Swords. Five of Swords is where we're headed. What I mean by that is we are in the final decan of Capricorn right now. And the next decan is the first card, the first decan of Aquarius, Five of Swords. So in a way, it directs us to focus on now, what is now, and where we are, where we find ourselves. And so fives, and we need strength, of course, to travel into those times and those days that bring us tremendous discomfort. And there is, I said I used the word trust, but now here I want to use the word truth. And there is something here about you facing your truth. The light is kind of dim here, but what I'm seeing in this card is one sword sort of floating away above the head of this figure, and almost as if they are facing, and there's a prayer towards the four swords that are in front of them for sacredness, sacred spaces, and letting go. This is always a challenge. To release something that you have held onto so tightly for so long, to find the strength to do that now, while you are at the beginning of this year. And so that can be Suit of Swords, right? So that can be a thought, a belief, a way of speaking. There's something here that feels pretty potent for you. So we have one, this is Queen of Wands, Five of Cups, so two fives, so that's pretty dynamic. And Justice, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we need to wrap around to the top for the last card. 10, Lovers. All right, so the story starts with Five of Swords, and then Queen of Wands. And so that's pretty beautiful. So between Strength and Five of Swords was the Queen and the King of Wands. And in this way, the way that this Queen of Wands is facing, almost looking, I feel like they're looking towards this figure here, very mother figure. This Queen of Wands the colors here, it almost looks as if she's looking out to sea. She's yearning for the sea. She's yearning to touch that, to touch your heart, to help you to move through this and find the strength to take that first step forward. What is that next action? Hi, Saskia, welcome. What is that next action? And I feel like you would even sense her presence. Sometimes how we feel like we have hands on shoulders, or there's something behind us helping us to move, and she feels very, very strong there. So there's a powerful theme here of release, and in order to move through, I'm just lighting another candle here. We're still in the dark, and there we go. Beeswax, of course, rolled by my hands. Sourced in Canada. I pause here because I feel like sometimes I'm saying the same things over and over. We are all here to create the easiest, the softest place to land, the environment where we can find the greatest peace and harmony. It's not possible for all of us to dive into the bliss of meditation and allow that kind of medicine to carry us through all of our challenges. It would be nice if we could all drop in that easily and do that. So we have to think of other ways that we can create an environment where we can thrive and where we can feel a moment even of bliss. And what's being spoken here for you is the courage to have the strength to let go. And if you can just imagine walking away and little pieces of something falling off. I'm sure you've seen pictures or a film or just visualized it yourself. You're just sort of walking away and little, I don't know what it would be for you, but little pieces of something just falling off. And every step you feel lighter and lighter, lighter and lighter. And it is that lightness of being that you seek, because too much is being carried. Now, this reading really beautifully includes the 11th arcanum as well, too. This card of adjustment. And you can see that the way that Kelly Burton has drawn this card, it looks an awful lot like the shape of adjustment in the Crowley card, where we see the figure balancing almost on point as a ballerina. And again, an experience that most people don't have, dancing on point. But that feeling, it's like, and again, I know not everybody has practiced yoga, but it's that feeling that one has when you find balance in a balancing posture. And something shifts, an energy shifts, and it's like you could stay there forever. And you've landed and you're just breathing and something whooshes, washes over you. And you realize just for a moment, this is how it's supposed to feel. This is how it could feel all the time. I feel there's a theme here of finding comfort in that place that takes you out of your comfort zone. Learning to let go in that experience where you've previously been tremendously uncomfortable. And so you say something to yourself and you enter into that experience and you realize, I can do this. I can be here. And I surrender. I surrender to this process because it's my time. It's my time to find that place of healing. It's my time to find balance that I have not known or allowed myself to experience previously. And I think that this message is the message. The rest of the cards simply add to the story. They're peripheral. This is a huge message. And it's one of a tremendous force. Okay, so we're Sun and Jupiter kind of shaking things up here. You know, with a touch of this and a touch of that, but this is really a year for you. It's going to rock your world, quite literally. And it's going to be you got Hermit. Wow, isn't that beautiful? So 8 of Pentacles is up here at the top, Hermit. You're going to find your way to this place of knowing, and trust was one of the words I used at the top of the reading. It's like you're wandering into a vibration. You're wandering into a frequency, and I'd like you to find your words around that expression I said. It's like, oh, this is what it feels like. Wow. Okay. How can I stay here? Because this is the feeling that I want to have every day. Maybe this week, just for moments in the day, but I really want to learn to come back here. I want to learn to come back here and learn how to feel this content. Now, the Hermit and the 8 of Pentacles, they're sort of facing into what I said was the bulk of this reading. And so this is a solitary experience, a learning to love oneself enough to give oneself the gift of this kind of experience. So, and the 7 of Swords tiptoes back that way as well. And there is a choice that is made in the 7 of Swords. There is a choice that is made to leave. So you have 2 of the cards of Aquarius. That is the next astrological season that is approaching. And this really is a time to, I feel like you are clearing your mind. And, you know, 7 of Swords is a tricky card. It's like, and I wonder if Kelly Burton includes it's probably not there because this is the theme of the bees. We don't want let's use the bees as a example. We don't want the bees to swarm. We want the bees to thrive in the hives and in the environment, in this particular apiary, this place that we call our home. And so if there is anything we can do to shift the environment, any decisions that we can make, or actions that we can take to shift the environment. Maybe there was a bad choice that was made, and this is an opportunity to put an end to that. And it's funny, what's coming to mind is, I don't know if there was money, but maybe a piece of land next to your land was sold. Maybe it was yours. You made this choice to sell it, and there's a bunch of construction noise there, and you find out what is being built is not conducive at all to what's going on your property, and you regret that. And so, much to your financial detriment, you take great measures to buy that back. This is just an example that's coming to mind because of the deck that's here, but it feels like your voice, your choices are really, really important at this time, and you must go to great lengths, find great strength to bring these adjustments about. Six of Pentacles. Nine of Cups, which I spoke to already. And Knight of Cups. So wrapped around to the top of the deck, Knight of Cups was at the top. So Knight of Cups was at the top, and Nine of Cups was at the bottom. Both are these in the journey of Pisces. Knight of Cups asks us, what do you truly want? It is the Grail Knight. It is the Knight that guides us into the heart, into the union of divine masculine, divine feminine. You saw the next card is also the Lover's card. So there's this theme here for you of contentment, peace of heart, complete. It's like if you have been experiencing stress, the only thing, I mean, we're all experiencing stress at this time, but stress that is affecting you physically, mentally, emotionally in a way that it hasn't before. Maybe in the past you've been able to navigate it. That's my granddaughter making noises in the background. This is about learning. At the beginning I said this is about you creating this environment, which may be a moment in a day, a moment in a week, that you know you can return to, where you sit in this frequency where you can really exhale and go, yes, this is what it's supposed to be. Well, the Knight of Cups is asking you to describe that, to write a story, to paint it, to visualize it. And your first card, the first card that I talked about today, the Nine of Cups, is such a confirmation that you have this potency of life within you, and perhaps I want to go back to these two fives and this, why you ask yourself why you've been carrying these things. Because there's this purity and this vivacity and a lightness of heart that you have danced to before. and the sheer contentment that is felt when one finds harmony, whether that is with the bees or what that is with. This is your gift of 2026. Your gift is to expand. And I'm using that as a Jupiter keyword. Expand into your contentment. Yes, Saskia, and she's living with me. So, yeah, this is a really beautiful, beautiful reading. And I suggest that you take this step by step. And really see if you can capture those moments and stop. Stop and just hold on to those moments. Close your eyes and be in there. No rushing. No rushing. And like I said, see if you can take some time to deepen your experience in the understanding of the relationship between the strength arcanum and the balance arcanum. If you want to call it justice, call it justice. But think about it more as this refinement. I love that word for that card. Refinement of, you're making little shifts, little shifts, little shifts. So then you can find yourself at the center in order to know the contentment. A great deal will have to be released. A great deal. But you've known that. You've known that for a while. Okay, so I look forward, as always, to your feedback. And I will see you soon. Going to be broadcasting a lot today, so take good care. And don't be a stranger. Leave me a message below. Namaste.